I am really excited to share this update with you. So I'm filming this update on the last day of the year of 2024. I want to make some updates on how we're scaling micro budgets. So we are still duplicating campaigns. I absolutely still do that, but I got a little lazy in the month, kind of towards the end of Thanksgiving and in the month of December. I want to show you how my laziness turned out to be a kind of a new discovery that we have in scaling micro ad budgets. So let's go ahead and just dive into just a couple of ad accounts so we can look at exactly what I'm talking about. First account I'm going to show you is an account that we actually spent over $330,000 in the month of December using micro budgets. So check this out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at top of funnel. I'm going to look at our leads and sales. Really what we're doing is we're looking at converting leads, and I'm going to show you everything that we currently have running right now. So my goal cost per conversion, or with this client for a book a call, let me move this over here. I'll show you something really interesting for the month of December. So with this client, we start a lot of budgets at $20, $30, and $40 a day. Well, our main goal is to be getting leads under $65. If we're getting leads $50, we're really excited. Well, what I decided to do around Thanksgiving is I got a little lazy. I started turning off ad campaigns that were at $80, $90. That's why you see these ones just right here. But I got interested in some of these lead campaigns that we were getting right here, that $38.66. That's great. Well, it started at $30. 3 days later, I moved it to $50. I didn't duplicate the campaign. With this client, I didn't duplicate any campaigns in the month of December. All I did is I turned off campaigns that we see like right here, but I started taking these micro budget ad budgets of $30 or $40 and moving them to $60, waiting 3 or 4 days and moving the $60 to $80, $80 to $100, $100 to $120. So I would increase ad spend by 20 to 30% every 2 to 3 days. Now, typically what would happen is if I was spending, let's say, starting out at $200 a day, many of you are going to see that performance comes in, we get conversions for 2 or 3 days, and things just drop off. Well, with the micro budget strategy, one of the things that I've really been looking at is we're kind of tapping into veins of gold, like I mentioned before. So when we start to duplicate campaigns, we're trying to reduplicate and tap into that vein of gold. And I've mentioned before, let's just say I duplicate this campaign right here 5 times. Well, 2 out of the 5 campaigns may just run really well, while 3 of the campaigns may fail. But I'm going to take those kind of odds to Vegas. But what I had a hypothesis on is, what happens if I have a micro budget campaign that's produced 3, 4, 5 conversions, not just one, but 3, 4, 5 conversions at my right goal cost? What happens if I bump that from $30 a day to, let's just say, $50, from $50 to $75, or $75 to $100, and I wait 2 or 3 days? Well, what's really interesting, watch this. I'm going to go ahead and select active campaigns. This is where the magic starts to happen. Look at these budgets, 250, 150. I just keep on bumping this up. Well, we start to take a look at when I start to sort like cost. Let's see if I can sort. Sometimes the sorting function doesn't work very well for Facebook with this client. Let's go amount spent. So I'm sorting by amount spent. Look at some of these lead campaigns. Again, they're under the $50, which I'm really excited about. They're up to $250 a day now. What I'm noticing that's really interesting is if I have a larger budget campaign, let's say I start at $100 or $200 a day, I'm going to see some sales or leads come in for the first 3 or 4 days, and then performance is going to dip. But what's really interesting is with these micro budget campaigns, what I end up doing is, as I'm ending up bumping up spend, it's almost like I've already tapped into this vein of gold, and it keeps on growing. So from the micro budget campaigns that I started to, add $20 or 20%, right? We would go from $30 to $50, $50 to $75, $75 to $100, $100 to $125, $125 to $150, $150 to like $200. There are very few campaigns that I've actually turned off in the month of December. So in the month of December on this client and a couple of others that I'm going to show you, I actually didn't. I turned off some ads. I lowered the ad spend on some ads, but for the most part, I haven't had to turn off many ads. It's like once it starts to work, It just keeps on working. So what I can show you for a perfect example is in the month of December, my top of funnel, look, you can see overall my lead cost is at $61. I'll go to active for the fat that I trimmed, we're at $54. I'm diversified with all these different campaigns that I'm running and slowly increasing the budget. Now, here's what's interesting. If I go back to November at this time, actually, let's say before Thanksgiving, my cost was a lot higher just running just micro budgets. So we did run into a problem with this client where the website speed had slowed down a little bit. This is one of those clients that our conversion numbers dropped in half because of the load time, just the load time of the landing page. So the same ad, same audience, same targeting, everything, we started to see a drop in performance and conversions because of the slow loading of the page. So we talk about this in our data-driven course that we just did training, how we help speed up the page, use third-party tools like Microsoft Clarity, use a Google Site Speed to help improve the site speed. But I started to increase these budgets. Look what happens in December, which is just crazy, because in December, the conversions are double, lead cost is down. And if I really take a look, after the holiday season, the 25th through today, our conversions are great. Our cost per lead is great. Again, we spent $30,000 top of funnel taking these micro campaigns and slowly increasing the budget. I'm going to go ahead and jump into another ad account and show you the same thing as well too. It's just crazy how this is working. Okay, so this is a client's ad account that we run a webinar for, and the webinar runs every single Saturday. What's going to happen is basically on this. So on Sunday, I literally run like $15 a day. With this client, we do $10 to $15 a day for micro budgets. So what I ran on actually Sunday is I ran $5 a day. Well, ideally what I'm looking for is leads under $10 with this client. So on Sunday, a lot of my campaigns were at $5 a day, and I was getting leads for right around $4.42. I'm really excited about that. Great. Now, what I decided to do I look on Monday. On Monday, what I'm going to do is I increase the budget just a little bit. I mean, really, most of these are just $5 a day campaigns. So if you can look right here, these were all $5 campaigns on Sunday, $5 a day campaigns on Monday. On Monday, my lead cost was a little bit higher, about $8. I'm still underneath $10, which is fine. Well, what I start to do, for example, on Tuesday is I jump the best performing campaigns that we've had over the last 2 weeks from $5 a day to $15 a day. When I jump from $5 a day to $15 a day, look at this registration. It goes to $4.80. Wait a minute. I went from $5 a day on Monday, where my lead cost was $8, to I jumped the $5 budgets to today to $15 budgets. And again, it's like I found these honey holes, these gold veins. So you're going to see I did this exact same thing last week. So if I take a look at, let's just say last Sunday, you're going to see my daily budgets here were about $5. So I brought in leads right here. I mean, on this Sunday, I really lowered spend right away. So there's something broken with the registration completed page. That's why those numbers are weird. I take a look at Monday. At Monday, I just spent $15 to kind of start things back up, $15. So I went from $5 to $15. Notice my registration, $6.55. Then what I'm going to do is on Tuesday, we started talking about, hey, what do we want to increase the budget to? On Tuesday, you're going to see I took these same ads that were at $10 to $15. They're at $15. My cost for registration, $6. Then I go to the 25th. The 25th, now I go from $15 to $20 for all the best performing campaigns. I move from $15 to $20. I'm not duplicating any videos or any campaigns. 62 leads, $5.47. So now we're going to head into Thursday because the webinar is on Saturday. We're going to spend the most Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So let's take a look at Thursday. Thursday, our lead cost $5.32. I took the budget from $15 to $20 to $25 to even we take a look at each of these individual ones on Friday. I've moved the budget from $15 to $20 to now $45. Let's take a look at this. Cost per registrations are at $4.82. It's almost like they're going down. It's like I found these veins of gold and I'm just tapping into meaning even more. On Saturday, this is our big crescendo, our big push. Essentially what I end up doing is I crank up ad spend to like $40 for the day. Once our webinar happens in the middle of the day, I drop everything back down to $5. So it's a big push that we have for that day of signing up. But even for that big, throttle up and then throttle down, still get leads at $6.32. So I've done this on multiple clients. I've done this on clients that are running weekly webinars. I'm doing this on book a call funnels. I'm doing this on our own funnels. I even have some clients that we just started out with here. Let me give you another example of one more client that this is working just gangbusters for. Here's another client I want to show you that we literally just launched just a couple of days ago on Monday. And this is working out like gangbusters. Again, using the same type of micro budget stuff, right? What I'm going to do is we're going to set up 5 different, this is for a webinar on January 8th. I'm going to set up 5 different video ads, 5 different image ads. We're going to target 4 different audiences, top of funnel, plus we have our middle of funnel. So if I just take a look at top, and we just run through, I'm taking a look at my golden ad report for this workshop. I'm going to go ahead and do amount spent. So really we launched these ads for $15 a day, just the very first day. And I can see some pretty good click-through rates that start to happen right away. I'm excited. I'm looking for leads under $10, $10.45. So we're really close. I haven't even trimmed the fat yet. Now, when I take a look at today, our lead cost is $6.16. I'm still spending $15. What I'm going to do tomorrow as we push closer to the webinar, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at our highest leads now. So we're getting some $2 leads, $3, $2, $3, $2. This is really great. I thought they're going to be under $10. I'm going to turn off the campaigns that are producing leads over $9. We'll turn off the campaigns that are producing leads over $9. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to raise all of these budgets to $25. Now, I have a budget of close to $4,000 for the upcoming webinar, but what I'm doing is I'm launching all the ads, just like I mentioned to you in the micro budgets. Because I've run ads for this client before and I knew what the click-through rates were, I didn't start at a $5 or a $10 lead micro budget. I started at $15. And I mean, it's kind of risky, but right out of the gate, testing all these different ad creatives with these micro budgets, I've spent $592 top of funnel. But we've gotten 73 leads at under our goal of $10. And then when I start to take a look at our middle of funnel, right here, middle of funnel, they're under $10 leads. These are working well as well. Again, we're at $15. These have been running for 2 days. So now that I found all the honey holes or the veins of gold, essentially what I'm going to do is turn off all the campaigns again that are below $10. So if I have all of these active running campaigns right now, let's just funnel by delivery, active delivery. Actually, I'll just do this now and I'll have a recorded follow-up video for you. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to turn off all of these ads right here that have not, that are below or that are above $10. This one's above 10. I'm going to leave some of these middle of funnel run. I see sometimes the middle of funnel, sometimes the lead will drop, cost will drop just a little bit. So I'm going to leave that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn these off. All right. Now what I'm going to do is anything that has 3 leads or more for my micro budget, anything that has 3 leads or more, so that's right at the $10, which is fine. I'm going to come right up here. It's 15 different ads, campaign budget. We're at $15 at $225 right now. I'm going to move that to $25. So I'm going to 225 to 375. I'll report back in 48 hours what this looks like. It's on December 31st when I'm reporting on it now. And then I'll come back in a couple of days and report this. But I just wanted to give you an update just to show you how, yes, I'm still duplicating and pruning on micro budgets, but it seems like if I'm finding conversions that have 3, 4, 5 conversions in a campaign, I can start bumping up these budgets, and a couple of them I'm going to turn off. But it seems like I just have this, honeypot or vein of gold that just keeps on running. So hope this gives you some additional information and some insight as we're rounding out and closing out 2024. Appreciate you all for being here. This training will be exclusive to people in the micro budget training as a follow-up, and I'll post in the group that this follow-up micro training was just posted. Let me know if you have any questions.